and composite and ceramic. That means the category number 2 and 3. Uh, they are getting more popularity in the industry because we are nowadays we are using these plastics, composites, and ceramics more rather than as compared to the metals. Okay, so definitely the advantages they are getting due to more usage of that. Now the question is how to machine these materials. How to machine these materials means what? Plastic and composite or ceramic. So if you want to go for the turning operation or other drilling, so that machining is the difficult, because if we see that ceramic, normally we use ceramic tool for cutting the metals and the alloys or other material. Now when material or the workpiece material itself is made up of the hard material, that means the ceramic, like ceramic, then the question arises which material will be used for cutting ceramics. Okay, so which material is used to cutting the ceramic, that question is arises. And also we know that the ceramic is much harder than the our metallic workpiece material. So when workpiece itself is hard or harder than the tool material, then question arises how to machine. So this was the one of the reason that people or the researcher in the field of manufacturing, or in the field of machining, started thinking to develop or to evolve or to come up with the new ideas, new processes, new tools, and new type of machining process where that hardness is not a barrier or is not a problem, and that new new concept, yeah, you all, and that concept or that solution is called advanced machining processes. Okay, so in this advanced machining processes there is no barrier of the material hardness, though your material is hard or smooth, doesn't matter, you can apply or you can use advanced machining process. Okay, now let us continue with this point only. So again, nowadays one more question arises, that is which is the demand, the present demand trends in the different kinds of industry, especially if we talk about the high tech industry, just like aerospace industries, missile industries, nuclear reactors. Okay, so now in that, now we are using in their materials which are having demand, and they should be have much superior property. Okay, for these present industries we are using the engineering material having the much superior properties. Now which property? So that property means ultra high strength of that material, then high hardness, very high temperature resistance, and difficult to machine by conventional machining methods. Okay, so these properties are belongs to the superior properties of the engineering material. Now, if you take the example of turbine blades, okay, so turbine blades, it is working or it is operating under the temperature 1100 or 1200 degrees Celsius. So that temperature, at that temperature, that turbine blade should be able to retain their shape and the size and other property while it is in use. Now, when we use ultra high strong material as a workpiece, then the question, another question is arises, how to machine them. So it becomes very difficult to machine by conventional method. Now our conventional method means what? By using the lathe, if you perform the turning operation or the another drilling operation using the conventional method on the this superior material, then there is a problem. What problem occurs? Here, hardness of our workpiece material is greater than the or higher than the tool material. So, how to resolve this problem? That question is arise. And so, to resolve this problem, we have the only one solution, that is the use of advanced machining processes. Got it? So, here in this advanced machining processes, there is a no matter or does not matter about the your workpiece hardness in advanced machining processes. So advanced machining processes, as I just mentioned, that hardness is the barrier in case of conventional, not in case of our advanced machining process or the non-conventional machining processes. So when we are using the advanced machining processes, hardness does not remain as a barrier for the machining. Okay, so this is the important importance of the our advanced machining processes. Now let us continue with this point again. Why do we need the machining mode? We have the another prospect of this point. So now there are. Let me check whether some students are joining or because I'm getting some message. Okay, 1 minute only. Please ask to student to join because I'm waiting for it. Once I'm sharing screen, no, that time I'm not getting who is giving the invitation to me. Am I audible? Abhinay?
Ah, yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Huh. That means we are in on track, no problem.
Huh.
Now that Abhinay said that students are waiting, but I'm not getting invitation. Okay, we'll wait for 1 minute because I'm getting signal, but I couldn't be able to. 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, let it be. Huh. Okay, so now we'll see the another aspect of importance of our non-conventional machining process or the advanced machining process. Now there are various reasons why we do need this advanced machining process or non-conventional machining processes. So the question arises, why do we need advanced machining processes? And the basic answer for this all is that there are various limitations with this our conventional machining processes. Okay, the basic question, that basic point about the advanced machining process or the non-conventional machining process is that we have the limitations, various limitations about our conventional machining process. Now, which are that limitations? That I will tell. So, first is the hardness of the workpiece. Okay, workpiece material hardness. Okay, because if you use the conventional method, their basic condition is that our tool hardness, that hardness of the tool material should be the higher than the our workpiece. Correct. So if you want to overcome this limitation, we have to go for the advanced machining process. And the second is the present day industry, they need a very high level of surface finish. Okay, that means the surface roughness is required. That rough surface value should be very low. Okay, so that is second limitation of the conventional. First is the workpiece hardness, second is the workpiece surface finish or surface roughness. Then another is that even people are in demand of nano level surface roughness. Okay, that means a very high very low surface roughness. So for that purpose we have to go for the advanced machining process, because using advanced machining process we can reach to 1 nano to the uh, micro nano also. Okay, using micro machining of this advanced machining. Okay, so if you consider the, again example of the turbine bed, there we can go for the surface accuracy of surface roughness value of nanometer or micrometer. So again, third aspect is the there are various components which are 3D in the nature, which are 3D in nature. If you consider the example of cutting section of the turbine blade, okay, that means aerofoil shape. Aerofoil shape, it is always in 3D nature. So the question are just how to make them by conventional method, because using conventional method it is difficult to get a 3D shape or 3D nature on the our component. So again, if you use material super alloys which are very hard for the 3D component, then again that problem occurs, and they have the hardness as good as cutting tool material. So these are the some limitations. And again, complex geometry. That means if you want to go for the complex geometry of your component, and it is difficult to perform or to give the geometry, complex geometry using the our conventional machining method. So to overcome these limitations of our conventional method, we have to go for the advanced machining method or non-conventional machining or traditional non-traditional machining process. Okay. Now another aspect is increase the workpiece hardness, and due to that, our economic cutting speed is going to decrease. Okay, and due to that, lower productivity will occur, or will get the lower productivity. If you go for using the conventional method, and by increasing the workpiece hardness, our cutting speed is going to decrease, and due to that, our productivity also going to decrease. To overcome this point also, or to limitation of this, we have to go for the our advanced machining or the non-conventional machining. So again, if you see nowadays, there are rapidly increment or improvement in the property of material. Okay, that means the workpiece hardness, again strength, okay, ultra high strength. So again, to overcome this problem, we have to go for the advanced machining process. Okay, so again, another aspect of this is, as we know that no, metals and non-metals are used as a workpiece material, just like a stainless steel, a high strength temperature resistant super alloys. So the question is, how can we how we can machine them? And when we see these properties of this material, definitely we have to go for using the advanced machining process. Okay, just I mentioned, if you want to use metal, non-metal like stainless steel, STR, that means high strength, temperature resistance, super alloys, that is stellite over, etc. So we have to go for the advanced machining processes, because there hardness is going to high. Okay, somebody is speaking at background, so please mute yourself. Now, another is that when tool material hardness is very close to the workpiece hardness, then you require much superior quality of the tool material. Okay, that is the last point. When your tool material hardness is very close to the workpiece material hardness, then you require much superior quality of the tool material. Okay, so that is again the limitation of our traditional machining. Okay, because in advanced machining or in our unconventional machining or non-conventional machining, there is no barrier about the hardness. Now, apart from this workpiece material properties, there are the another aspect, that is a product requirement. Okay, now which are the product requirements? Okay, up till now we have seen, due to various kinds of limitations or various kinds of problem, we are switching to advanced machining processes or the non-traditional machining process. But apart from this, we have the another aspect, that is the product requirement. So there are the product requirement which are very complex in shapes. Okay, sometimes we require complex steps of the our component, so that time we cannot fulfill that requirement using the our traditional machining, so we have to go for the advanced machining. Okay, now many times you require, as I will give one small example, that is to machine the component in inaccessible areas for our conventional cutting tool, maybe a single point cutting tool or multi-point cutting tool. Inaccessible area means what? Where we can't reach. Okay, if you take example of, now in medical field, everyone, we all think that we have the model of our brain, okay, or heart. So that model we can manufacture, or we can go for machining using the only advanced machining or advanced micro machining process. Okay, now if you take that example, that machining of heart shape, or the making of the model of heart or our brain, then there are various areas, inaccessible areas. So if you use our single point cutting tool using the traditional or conventional method, then it is difficult to access that. But if you use the our advanced machining, it is very easy to go for that uh, making or producing the our unaccessible areas, machining of the unaccessible areas. Okay, so definitely we require the advanced machining processes to achieve or to shape and to get the size such difficult, or I can say integrate size of the component. And also the most important that to get the lower tolerance. Okay, if you want lower tolerance, say you can I can take example of 10 micron. So using our conventional method, it is difficult to achieve this 10 micron. So that we have to move for the advanced machining or advanced or we can say non-traditional machining. Okay, again next requirement is better surface integrity. That means that there should not be any surface defect. Okay, so to get to have a better surface integrity, or we can say to understand the surface integrity, means the surface after machining should not have any defect, maybe micro holes or a poor surface finish, or I can say heat affected zone, because this kind of problem occurs using the our conventional method. So if we want to go for the better surface integrity, we have to move for the advanced machining processes or the non-traditional machining processes. Okay, otherwise what will happen, it may get rejected during the that our component, it may get rejected during the inspection. Okay, so high surface finish will get using the only advanced machining process. It may be in the nano level, that means in that RA value. Okay, surface roughness value. Okay, you can achieve up to the nano level. Now the requirement of current industries, that is a miniaturization of the product. Okay, so now miniaturization product is the another thing which forces you to use the advanced machining process. Miniaturization means what? Mini pump, okay, mini component or mini micro pump. Okay, so these are the miniaturization component requirement of industry. So to achieve that, we have to go for the advanced machining process. Okay, because you can see in the old days. Here I will take the one example. If you see the in the old days, we use the landline phones, correct? So which are much larger in say size as compared to the mobiles, today's mobile. And now today's mobile, these mobiles have a much more capability than the land capability. That means the uh, that is internal storage capacity, ROM or the processor. Okay, so nowadays mobile is getting compact with higher capability as compared to the older landline phones. So here you can use internet, okay, within in the our mobiles, and you can send email with the help of this mobile, and everything is compacted in a very small size of the product. That is a mobile. So I can say miniaturization of the landline phone happened into the our new smart mobile. Okay, very compacted smart mobile. So this happens due to the, again I can say, due to the advanced machining or advanced uses of the advanced or modern processes. Okay, again I will come to the same example. Old computer, the old computer, say if you see this our room. Okay, so that time in the old days, our hard disk maybe they are using the many hard disks. Okay, having the shape size up to the our room. Okay, but nowadays if you take our laptop, okay, 1 TB 2 TB that capability is there. So this is happened due to the modern technology or advanced technology. So this is a requirement of today's product, and to achieve this requirement we have to go for the advanced machining processes, and this is a one option. Okay, now if you go for new one point, that is a, if industry that as industry people always talk about the high production rate, they need the processes which can give high productivity. Okay, and while processing and in the industry, while processing that processing of the difficult to machine components, that means the hard materials. Okay, especially if I will talk about the difficult to machine the component, then they always demand that cost of production should be as low as possible, and they can earn a more benefit or higher benefit. So there they require precise or ultra precision machining or nano machining or micro machining as the requirement of today's sophisticated high tech industry. Okay, so we have to go for the high production rate. For to achieve that high production rate, we have to go for high material remove rate of the our machining, and to achieve high material remove rate, we have to use the our advanced machining technology or non-traditional machining technology only. Okay, so using our advanced machining technology, I can achieve the tolerance up to or less than the 10 micrometer. Definitely, you can't get this kind of requirement on the component using our conventional or traditional machining process, where you are removing the material in the form of chips, where the size of chip itself is if you in the few 100 microns. Okay, using the traditional machining. Okay, so this is a disadvantage, or I can say limitation of our traditional machining. And to overcome that, we have to move for the our advanced machining or non-traditional machining or non-conventional machining. Okay, so the solution for this all kind of problems or limitations is the only solution is that use of advanced machining, or I can say modern machining or non-conventional or non-traditional machining processes. Okay, so using non-traditional machining, I will get the low cost production because I'm getting the higher MRR. Okay, again, precision and ultra precision machining to meet the requirement of this ultra precision machining, we have to go for the advanced machining. Okay, because here we are getting in the form of micro size that work material machine. Only one solution is the advanced machining processes, or I can say our non-traditional non-conventional machining. Okay, so from this I have taught you that importance of our subject. Okay, have you got? Okay, understood or not? Say yes or no in the comment box so that I understood. Abhinay and Pranay, Aniket.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have taken 1 hour from last lecture to till this lecture to explain you that what is the importance of our subject, or what not subject, I will say importance of the our advanced machining technology, because we have limitations by using the our traditional machining. Now this advanced machining means what? Our non-traditional machining and non-conventional or modern machining. Okay, all names are same. Okay, concept behind this is same. Okay, now I will extend this point using some example. Okay, so I will give one example. Now see here. Here I have shown some complex shapes work pieces. Now, if you see here in first, okay, okay. Now here is a one wall, and on that wall, I have to go for the hole, or the I need to go for the drilling of the hole, which is normal to the wall. Okay. So using traditional machining, it may be possible, but if you want to go for easy that drilling, then I can go for the our advanced machining. Okay, so this is a first interesting example. Now I will explain. Okay, now if you take the example of this, you cannot solve the problem by our conventional machining method. If you see here, the first part is here is on this you can see here is a hole and here is the another hole. Okay, there are the two. Okay, and in between these two holes there is a wall. Okay, correct. And you want to drill a hole perpendicular or normal to the wall. The question arises, which conventional machining method can do this? Okay, this is that which conventional method, I'm saying conventional method can do this. Okay, now as per my best knowledge I can say no conventional machining method can drill a hole like this in this particular component. So here you can use only process that can serve your better purpose. So here if you take the example of our advanced machining process, electrochemical machining, we will discuss later on this electrochemical machining in and you can see this by using the electrochemical machining you can easily drill the this hole. Okay, so this is one example. From this example you will get the importance of electrochemical machine, that is the advanced machining process. Now again, if you see the second figure here, turbine blades with the cooling holes. Here I have taken the cut section of the if you take the cut section of this turbine, our turbine blade, you will get the aerofoil shape. You know the aerofoil, already you learn in the fluid mechanics subject, aerofoil shape. Okay, in drag and lift concept. Now here if you see in the second figure, they are the cooling holes are there. Okay, you see cooling holes are there on the turbine. And normally the size of this cooling holes is normally 1 to 2 millimeter, and the length is quite large. So you get the high aspect ratio in the material of this turbine blades. In it is made up of the super alloys. Okay, so you cannot machine it by our normal conventional method. So the question arises, how to machine them? So there is a process called shaped tube electromachining. Okay, one small sub type of electrochemical machine, that is a shaped tube electromachining, and that is the only process which you can use for this purpose. Although there are the competitive other processes are there. Okay, I will discuss that also in later part. Okay, so this is the second part. Now if you take the example of the this, if at third. Okay, okay, so here I want to go for the machining of a, I can say, band blank the gear blank. On that I have to make this pattern. That means the precision machining is required. So using our conventional method, it is difficult to machine. So here you can take another example of advanced machining, that is a wire EDM, wire electric discharge machining. So using that you can achieve the this type of shape. Okay, with high surface finish, with high accuracy, with low tolerance also. Okay, you can see here I have shown the male part of machine component, and here I have shown the female component. Okay, again you can see the fourth example here. Okay, taper 3D cutting. Okay, using the traveling wire. Okay, so in later during the wire idiom I will give same example also, and I will show the video of this two example I have this. Okay, so using this or by this example you will get some importance of our advanced machining. Let us move for the another example. Again here you can see the different patterns of holes drilled by laser beam. So here I have shown, if you want to go for the drilling of hole of 0.09 diameter in mm, 0.09 mm diameter. Okay, so you can use the electron beam machining, that is thermal energy based process. Okay, now here I will not go in detail about this because we are going to see in detail in the chapter number 4. Okay, but as a overview, I have shown the some example. Okay. Now, quickly, I will explain about the another point, that is the what are the some important characteristics of our advanced machining processes or our non-conventional machining process. What are the important characteristics? Okay, advanced machining processes as well as I can say machine tools. Okay, so performance of these processes, that means our advanced machining processes. So performance of this is independent of the strength barrier. Okay, already I am mentioned. So that is the strength as well as the hardness of our workpiece component. So the performance of these processes does not depend upon the these two characteristics, that is the hardness and the strength. Okay, so here using advanced machining or using non-conventional machining, there is a no barrier about the strength as well as the hardness of the workpiece material. Okay, then next is the performance of this advanced machining processes. It is depend on the thermal, electrical, magnetic, or and chemical properties of the workpiece material. This is important because what are the properties, that may be thermal, electrical, magnetic, or the chemical properties of workpiece material. Okay, it is important for machining or for I can say selection of the different advanced machining process. Okay, so in the next lecture I'm going to explain you the classification. In that classification we are going depend on this also properties. So in advanced machining process we are using different kind of energy in direct form. Okay, using the different kind of energy form, we are going to divide the our or we are classifying our advanced machining processes in different form. Okay, so again another characteristic about advanced machining is in general low MRR but better quality product. Okay, now to get high MRR we are using advanced machining process, but in general we are getting low MRR but better quality product. Okay, because if you focus on the quality of product we have to use for the advanced machining process. Now this low MRR, it is not applicable to all processes. In some processes we are getting the low MRR, no problem. In some processes we are getting high MRR with better quality. Again, comparatively high initial investment cost of machine tools and high operating cost. If we have to go for the setup of the new advanced machining processes, if you take the example of the our electric discharge machining EDM, or that is a wire EDM or laser beam machining. Okay, we require high initial investment as well as for machine tools as well as the high operating cost. So this is the one characteristic. Okay, so initial investment is very high as compared to our conventional machining processor. Okay, here I will take the example of say lathe machine. If you want to buy, then a good lathe machine you can buy for about the 10 lakh rupees. Okay, so but if you go to buy a simple electrochemical machining, it will not cost less than 15 to 20 lakh. Okay, and if you go for electro beam machining EBM, it will cost you around uh, 100 lakhs also, because due to the automation or rupees. Okay, and if you go for the focused ion beam IBM, it may cost you 6 lakh also, sorry, 6 crore also. Okay, you want more than that also. For that again, that price is depend on the your advanced machining processes and what machine tools is required for your setup. Okay, so it depends on. Okay, so initial investment is very high for this our machining tool. Okay, have you got this point? Now, for my lecture, this total or entire lecture, I have referred this advanced machining process book by Vikajan. Okay, and already you know that already same lecture already I have released on my YouTube channel, and some of you already gone through that. If you have not watched that, or you have not gone through that yesterday's and today's lecture, please go through that link. Okay, link is attached to it. Okay, so this is the first part. Whether you understood up till now what I have told you or what I have taught you. Okay, say yes or no. Some student, please give me reply using voice your by unmuting. Aniket Bansude, Athar,
Yes, sir.
Ridham.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Have you got the importance of our subject?
I
Okay,
added some
and also I have.
examples there.
Okay, so shall we proceed further?
Okay.
Further.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now actually we'll start the chapter number one. Up till now, I have taken the lecture about the importance. Now we'll open the another slide. Am I visible to all? That means my PPT is visible to all. Lecture on classification of non-conventional,
Yes,
non-traditional.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we'll start our.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now we'll start our chapter number one. Okay. Now I will take some highlights about our manufacturing processes. Okay. So already we know that our manufacturing process. Already you learn in chapter number in subject manufacturing technology, as well as I can say manufacturing processes or MTP also. Okay. So these manufacturing processes you can divide or broadly divide into two parts or two groups. First is the primary manufacturing processes and second is the secondary manufacturing process. Now using primary manufacturing processes, you can provide basic shape and size to the your work material. You can provide basic shape and size to the your work material or workpiece material as per the designers requirement. Okay, now which are the different primary manufacturing processes which gives the or which provide the basic shape and size? So we know that using the casting method or casting process, you are giving the basic size and shape to your component. So this casting, forming, or I can say powder metallurgy, these all kinds of processes are the primary manufacturing processes. Okay. Now come to the secondary manufacturing process. Now secondary manufacturing processes, this gives or provide the final shape and size with tighter control on your dimension and the surface characteristics. Okay, if you want to go for the final shape and size with tighter control, that means with lower tolerance. Okay, that means high accuracy. Or here I mentioned the tighter control on the dimension and surface characteristics also. So for that, you can use the secondary manufacturing process. Now, whatever our material removal processes are there, no material removal processes are there. So these all belongs to the our secondary manufacturing processes. Material removal processes are mainly secondary manufacturing process. Okay. Now this material removal process once again divided into the mainly two groups. Okay, material removal processes are divided into the two groups, and that group are one is the conventional machining processes, that is the traditional machining processes, and second is non-traditional machining processes, or I can say non-conventional machining processes. Okay, now if you talk about the conventional machining processes, these processes mostly remove the material in the form of chips. Okay, in the form of chip by applying a force on the workpiece with the help of edge shaped cutting tool. Okay, that is that cutting tool is harder than the workpiece. Okay, we know that if you want to go for the turning of a workpiece, turning of a workpiece using the conventional machining, you require force. Okay, you have to apply the force using the edge shaped cutting tool, and that tool should be harder than the workpiece. Okay, and using this, you will get the small size of, or in the form of chips, you will get the removal of the material. Okay, we know that in the our workshop also you are seeing, already you have seen that we are getting chips. Okay, by machining or by removing the material. So these all kinds of processes are the conventional machining processes. Now here I have given the examples also: turning or boring or milling, shaping, slotting, grinding. These all kinds of processes are the conventional machining processes where we are getting the material removal in the form of chips, and where we are applying the force on the your workpiece by using the cutting tool and having the higher uh, hardness than the our workpiece. Okay. Now come to the second. Second is our non-traditional machining processes. Now this non-traditional machining processes is defined as group of processes that removes the excess material by various techniques involving mechanical, thermal, electrical, or chemical energy, or combination of these energies. Okay, you can remove the excess material. That means you can remove the material from your workpiece. Okay, that removal of material in terms of turning, or sorry, in terms of uh, different operations. Okay, that remove the excess material. Now how? By using the various techniques which involves mechanical, thermal, electrical, or chemical, or combinations of these energies. Okay, but do not use a sharp cutting tool. Here we are not using physical cutting tool. Okay, important point, or important difference between our conventional non-conventional. In conventional machining, we are using physical tool, cutting tool. But for non-traditional machining, we do not require any sharp cutting tool. Okay, as it is required, or as it is used for traditional machining process. Okay, here physical tool is not there. Okay, so then question is arises, how we are machining the component. Okay, so for that purpose we have the next syllabus. Okay, that I am going to discuss now. Which are the non-traditional machining process? So firstly, I will give the example of our mechanically energy based process, that is a abrasive jet machining, AJM, water jet machining, WJM, abrasive water jet machining, okay, AWJM, then ultrasonic machining, USM, then electrical energy based machining, EDM, electric discharge machining, then chemical, electrochemical machining, then thermal energy based process, laser beam machining, electron beam machining, plasma arc machining. So these all kinds of the non-traditional machining process, and these we are going to learn in the our next syllabus. Okay. Now understood what is the background of our non-traditional machining process. Okay, and how this non-traditional machining process belongs to our material remote processes. Okay, understood? Say yes or no in the comment box. I am checking. Say yes or no. Total 37 students are there, but only 4 to 5 students are saying yes or no. Other students, whether you are in our lecture or you are wondering, okay, mentally wondering. I think so. No. Huh? Okay. I think you got point. Okay. So now we'll continue. Okay, this is about the basic. Now we should know the major characteristics of our conventional machining also. Okay. So now to classify our non-conventional machining, we need to understand the differences and similarities between the our conventional machining process and our non-conventional machining processes. So in conventional machining, as just I have mentioned, in conventional machining process, mostly we remove the metal in the form of chips by applying the force on the workpiece metal with the edge cutting tools that is harder than the workpiece metal. Okay, and they are due to the shape deformation along the shear planes and chip formation, that material removal happens. Okay, so these are the main characteristics of the conventional method. That means generally we are getting macroscope क्या not micro macroscopic chip formation using the conventional machining. Okay, how that formation occur? Due to the applying of the force, that is a shape deformation. Okay, the second is material removal takes place due to the application of cutting forces. That is a here energy domain can be classified as a mechanical only, because we are using cutting force, so there mechanical energy domain is used. Okay, but if you talk about the non-traditional, there we have the different energy domain. Again, characteristic, one important characteristic about the conventional is here our cutting tool is harder than the workpiece material. Correct. So these are the some major characteristic of our conventional machining. Now let us move for the which are the different major characteristics of non-conventional machining processes. So first is material removal may occur with chip formation or even no chip formation. Sometimes we are not getting the chip. Okay, so chip formation or even no chip formation maybe takes place. For example, here I will say, for example, in case of AJM, that means abrasive jet machining, chips are of microscopic size. Okay, there we are getting chip. But in case of electrochemical machining, material removal occurs due to the electrochemical dissolution at atomic level. Okay, in case of electrochemical machining, we are not getting in the any chip, because their material removal occurs due to the electrochemical dissolution, again that is at atomic level. Okay, now second characteristic is in non-traditional machining processes or non-conventional machining process, there may not be a physical tool. Okay, there may not be physical tool. For example, in case of laser jet machining, machining is carried out by using the laser beam. However, in case of electrochemical machining, there is a physical tool, and that is very much required for the machining. Now there is physical tool, but there is always gap between your tool and your workpiece material. Okay, okay, you will get in the next lecture. Okay, how we are maintaining gap between the our tool material tool and workpiece, and how we are doing the machining. Okay, the next characteristic is in non-conventional machining, the tool need to be harder than the workpiece material. Okay. In non-traditional machining, sorry, in non-traditional machining, tool need not to be harder than the workpiece. For example, in EDM process, electric discharge machining, copper is used as a tool material to machine the hardened steel. Hardened steel. See, using EDM process, we are using copper as a tool. Okay, to machine a hardened steel. Okay, because hardened steel is harder than the our copper. And the next characteristic mostly non-conventional machining processes do not necessarily use mechanical energy to provide material removal. Okay, mostly non-traditional machining process do not necessarily use mechanical energy to provide material removal, because in case of conventional machining we are using mechanical energy, but here we do not use mechanical energy necessarily. Okay, we are using mechanical energy, okay, for non-conventional machining method, but in different form. Okay, that you will come to know in the chapter number 2. Okay, again, because here I will extend that here our NCM, that is non-conventional machining, uses different energy domains to provide the machining. Different energy domain means what? Your thermal energy, chemical energy, your mechanical energy, electric energy. Okay, you can use separately or you can use uh, combinedly, no problem. For example, in ultrasonic machining or abrasive jet machining or water jet machining, mechanical energy is used to remove the mud or to machine the material. Whereas in case of electrochemical machining, electrochemical dissolution, okay, due to that material removal occurs. Okay, electrochemical dissolution. So that is the action, okay, for the material removal. Okay, so these are the major characteristics. Okay, or I can say these are the differences and similarities between the conventional and non-conventional machining process. Understood? So that I can proceed further. Understood? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I will go for important part, that is already I have discussed that what is the need of advanced machining process, but here in short I will explain need of our non-conventional machining process. Now the as we know that our conventional machining suffices the requirement of the industry over the decade, but new uh, exotic work materials, as well as our innovative geometric design of the product and the component, we're putting lot of pressure on capabilities of conventional machining process. Okay, so this limitations it lead to our the researcher for the development, or I can say establishment of advanced or non-traditional machining processes in the industries also. Okay, to achieve the requirement. So first the need is the, if you want to produce complex shape, or I can say integrate shape the blind hole, again having the size 15 mm by 15 mm square hole with a depth of 20 30 mm. Okay, if you take the example of this, if you want to go for the blind hole, okay, integrate shape the blind hole, okay, square hole of shape of dimension 20, 15 mm by 15 mm, again having the depth of 30 mm. So that time you can go for, you need our non-conventional machining process. Again, to machine the workpiece of difficult to machine material. Okay, that means you can say some example of material, inconel, okay, then titanium alloys or carbides. That time we need a non-conventional machining. Then for the low stress grinding, okay, I can say electrochemical grinding is preferred for the low stress grinding, okay, as compared to the conventional one. Okay, and again if you want to go for the deep hole with the small diameter, okay, with the small hole diameter, for example having the diameter 1.5 mm diameter hole with that inner diameter 20 mm, sorry, inner depth is a 20. That time also we need a non-conventional machining. And the important point is that if you want to go for the machining of the composite material, that time we have to go for the non-conventional or uh, non-conventional machining. Now Gayatri Joshi, he has asked about the which one is the costly if you compare with the conventional and non-conventional. Already I explained that in the product requirement. Okay, why we need in that, as compared to conventional machining, non-conventional machining, it's a tool, that machine tool is costly than the conventional, but but whatever the production cost is there, production cost of component using the non-conventional machining, it is less or lesser than the conventional machining. Okay, investment cost of machine tools of advanced machining processes is high as compared to conventional, but our manufacturing cost, if you take the manufacturing cost or production cost of any component using the conventional or non-conventional, that time using non-conventional machining cost is less. Got it? Joshi, Gayatri Joshi, whether you got your answer of your question? Okay. Now Atharu is saying that students are waiting for lecture. Where are the students? Okay, let it be. We have to
On the group, sir.
group.
On the group are waiting. There are students.
Okay.
2 or 3 students.
Okay, just a drop message. Please join so that I will take the 1 minute pause here. Okay, because we have to continue for
I
one.
will send. I will send message on the group, sir.
Okay, okay, huh.
Uh,
Then so that here I will accept, no problem. Other student can take 1 minute break, no problem. Don't leave group. Huh? Don't leave a group. Whether you are getting Aniket Bansude, Chandragupta, Santosh Patil.
Yes, sir.
Okay. As our subject is theoretical, so I mean, after 10 or 15 minutes, I may interacting to you so that you will not get bored. After 1 minute, we'll start, no problem. So, time being, here I will give one instruction. Now, day before yesterday, I think only 20 students were there, and there I have given the instruction. Same instruction here also I will give. So, every day, every morning at 9:30 a.m., you will get the premiere of my lecture through YouTube. That premiere is of only 15-minute time is there. Okay, that lecture time is only 15 minutes. So I request you all, please attend that premiere. Okay. So every day I'm putting my message, but only few students are joining. Okay, near about 10 to 15. But I expect more than the 30 students every day should join that. Okay, so that you will get the extra knowledge, and that lecture is the bonus for you. Okay, you can watch that lecture anytime, no problem. But if you attend a premiere, that means the one type of live class. So that time I can solve your query also. Okay, so here I appeal you, please attend that lecture also for only 15 minutes, and again that to be at morning. Okay, with the fresh energy. Okay, so I hope from tomorrow onwards you will attend our morning lecture also. And those who have not seen that 2 3 lectures, that means the uh, day before yesterday or yesterday 2 days lecture, they can visit the same link, no problem, it is available on YouTube. Okay. Dhansri is saying that some students have problem to join. Now I think we should not wait about the other students, because for one student we should not waste time of this 37 students. We'll start, no problem. For those who have having the problem to connectivity, they can see this same lecture through YouTube also, no problem. So we'll continue our point. Now I will talk about the important point, that is the classification of our non-conventional machining or non-traditional machining. Now, this classification is made according to the source of energy used. Okay, please concentrate. This classification is made according to the source of energy used to generate such a machining action. Okay, such a machining action. Okay, so that energy means what? Source of energy: mechanical energy, thermal energy, chemical energy, and electrochemical energy. Now, how that machining occurs or machining action happens irrespective of or with the help of different source of energy. If you take the example of mechanical energy for the machining of a component or machining action, there machining, or I can say material removal, occurs due to the erosion of the work material. Now, how that erosion will happen? By high velocity stream of the abrasives or fluids or both. Okay, here I will tell that, or I will say, due to the high velocity stream of abrasive, or I can say first here water. Okay, if you take water with the high velocity, if you impinge that high, or strike that high velocity water on any workpiece, I can see the stone also. So due to that impact or mechanical action, small work that material will remove from that component. So that is a erosion will happen due to the high velocity stream of abrasive or fluids. Okay, abrasive. Now, in next slide, I am going to explain abrasives and other. So here we are using mechanical energy domain. Okay, so this is a first classify, first type, that is a mechanical energy based processes. Now, if you use the thermal energy, then another group is that, that is a thermal energy based non-conventional machining process. Now, in thermal energy group, here thermal energy is applied to a very small portion of the work surface, causing that portion to be removed. Okay, that means the work material or work material removal will happen by vaporization, or I can say fusion of the material. Okay, if you use thermal energy, okay, by using the in very small portion onto the your workpiece, then material removal will happen. Okay, if you take example of laser beam, or you can take I'm going to explain that example also. You can take the example of our in childhood, our childhood, where keeping one that lens. Okay, through that lens we are passing the sun rays on our any paper, okay, notebook paper, and after some time we have observed that there is a burning of our that paper. So that is called laser beam, and that is a thermal energy we have used to remove the material. Burning is what we have used or we have removed the material, that is a burning. Okay, so here, see, thermal energy is going to convert into the electric energy. Okay, that also point is there. There is a electrothermal processes are there in electron beam machining or laser beam machining, where using the electric energy, and then that we are going to convert into thermal energy. Okay, so this second group. Now, electrochemical energy, electrochemical processes. So electrochemical process means what? This is simply a reverse of electroplating. In engineering chemistry or in 12th chemistry, we know that, or we have learned that concept of electroplating. Okay, removal of the material from the cathode and depositing of the same material, how to remove on the, we have to deposit on the anode. Same concept we have to use, or we have used for the electrochemical machining process. Okay, so in simple language, here I am saying that the mechanism of electrochemical machining is a reverse of electroplating. That's it. Okay, in detail I will tell, no problem. Then fourth group is the chemical. Okay, now before that chemical, I will say in electric energy group and thermal group, there is a combination. There is a combination. Okay, you will come to know, because in the next slide I am going to teach that. Now, if you talk about the chemical, chemical energy is used for removal of the material. How we are using the chemical energy, that I will explain. So most of materials, particularly metals, are susceptible to chemical attack by certain acid or the other reagent. Okay, for example, if you use chemical on your any surface, okay, in the metal also. So if you use a chemical acid, then that chemical acid remove the part that surface of your component. Okay, many of you have observed that. I also. So that chemical, I can say it may be acid or that chemical acid we are saying as a etchant, because etchant is what, due to the etching of action, it removes the material from the surface. Okay, so that is a chemical process. And in chemical process, chemicals selectively remove the material from the portion of the work part. Okay, that is chemical machining. Okay, here we are using the chemical, that means chemicals that may be acid or the etchant, and so I can say chemical energy is used up for the material removal portion action. Okay, and again here we are using the masked also, that there is one term masked. Okay, if you want to if you do not want to remove the material from any surface, that time you can go for the masking. Okay, so due to the masked, so from that portion there will not be occurring removal of the material. Okay, that in chemical machining you will know that, you will come to know that HN means what and mask means what. Okay, so in generally these are the groups. Okay, it is accordingly source of energy is used for the machining action. Mechanical, thermal, electrical, or I can say electro thermal or thermoelectric, then chemical and electrochemical. Now here you will you will get the all the machining. Now this is standard in mechanical energy based processes, non-conventional machining processes. You will get the different processes. Here I have given the example in chemical in machining part of the chemical energy based process. Abrasive jet machining is there, ultrasonic machining is there, water jet machining is there, and abrasive water jet machining. These are the four machining processes belongs to the mechanical energy based processes, and the detailed study we are going to learn in the chapter number 2. Again, some finishing processes are there belongs to this mechanical energy based processes, and that finishing processes means what? Abrasive flow finishing, AFM, magnetic abrasive finishing process, MAF. So these are these processes are not in our syllabus, but for your knowledge I have mentioned here. So this is first group. Now come to the second group, thermal energy based or electrical energy based or thermoelectrical energy based. Okay, so here I have mentioned plasma arc machining, that is PAM, laser beam machining, LBM, electro beam machining, EBM, electric discharge machining, EDM, and also wire EDM, also part of the electric discharge machining. Okay, WEDM, and ion beam machining. So these all kinds of processes belongs to the thermoelectric processes. Why thermo? Because electric energy we are converting into the thermal energy. For that purpose, here we have mentioned the thermoelectric energy based processes. In chapter number our 3 and 5th, we are going to learn these all processes. Okay. Now come to the third group, chemical and electrochemical energy based processes. That means chapter number 4, chemical energy, photochemical, chemical machining and photochemical machining. So these are two machining processes belongs to the actually PCM, that is photochemical machining is the part of chemical machining. So that belongs to the chemical energy based processes, and electrochemical machining or electrochemical deburring or electrochemical grinding or electrochemical drilling. So these all kinds of energy processes belongs to the electrochemical energy based processes. Okay, and there is another one more, that is a biochemical machining is there, belongs to this category. So biochemical machining, it is not a part of our syllabus. Okay, please please see this PPT, because this entire PPT is the your syllabus for your next 4th chapter, and this only we are going to learn in the next chapter. Okay, now I will discuss in detail one by one now. Okay. Please have a look so that we'll go forward. Now here itself, I will make one statement. Though we have grouped our advanced machining processes in these four categories or three categories or combinedly, but none of these processes is the best under all machining situation. That means for all machining condition, if you want to use only one machining process, then it is not suitable. Okay, so that I'm once again repeating, none of these processes is the best under all machining situation. Some of them can be used only for electrical conductive material, because already I mentioned here thermal, mechanical, or electrical properties of the your workpiece is important. So some of them can be used only for electrically conductive materials, while other can be used for both electrical conductive as well as electrical non-conductive materials. The performance of some of these processes not very good. Okay, not very good means what? Low material remove rate. Okay, already I mentioned that sometime I'm will get low material remove rate but better quality. Sometimes we are using other machining process, you will get the high material remove rate, high MRR, with high or better quality of product. Okay, while machining materials as I am mentioning, performance of some of these processes is not very good, while machining materials like aluminum having very high thermal conductivity. So these machining processes have their distinct characteristics, features. Okay, so for every machining they're having some their own characteristics. Okay, that also we are going to learn. Okay, don't worry. So the important point is here I'm telling, selection of appropriate machining process for your given situation or for your suitable situation, or we can say for your product requirement, becomes very important. Okay, becomes very important. Okay, and while selecting these all processes, or for example, if you want to go for the machining of a ceramic material, okay, this is situation, then you have to choose only one appropriate solution or appropriate process which you will give high material removal rate, also high surface finish and high quality. So that requirement should be fulfilled. So then how you are going to select the or whether any parameter or whether selection of parameters is there. So for that purpose, I will tell, while selecting the process to be used as per your suitability, then you have to take the care of the following factors. Okay, the first factor is the it's that process capability of your process capability, then physical parameters, then shape to be machined, then properties of workpiece material to be cut, and economics of the process. Okay, I repeat, while selecting or while choosing suitable process for your product requirement, you have to take care of following points. One is the process capability, sorry, process capability, physical parameters, shape to be machined, then properties of workpiece to be cut, and economics of process. Okay, so by considering these all parameters, you have to choose the appropriate advanced machining process for your requirement. Okay, because already I mentioned, from these all machining, no one is ideal. Okay, every process have their own characteristics. Okay, distinct characteristics. Now let us move for the one by one. Now if you talk about the mechanical energy based processes, that means the abrasive jet machining, ultrasonic machining, water jet machining have been developed, but with only some limited success only. Okay. Now here I will give the detailed explanation about the how that material removal occurs using the mechanical energy. So here kinetic energy, here kinetic energy is the, or I can say kinetic energy of either abrasive particles or water jet is utilized to remove material from the workpiece. Okay. Kinetic energy means what? High velocity stream of your water or the any fluid or your abrasive. Okay. If you use water, then water jet machining is there. If you abrasive, abrasive jet machining is there. If you commonly use abrasive as well as water, then that time abrasive water jet machining is called. Okay. So here mechanical action, that material removal action means what? Kinetic energy of either abrasive particles or either water jet is utilized for the removal of the material from the workpiece. So again, abrasive water jet machining, abrasive water jet machining. Okay, it is using kinetic energy of abrasive particles which is flowing along with the water, because commonly I am using water, water jet, and in that water jet you have to add abrasive particle. That time that process is called the abrasive water jet machining. Okay. Now here I have shown the diagram also. If you consider this water jet machining, then their cutting, that material removal happens due to the impact, due to the mechanical action or material action of the high velocity water jet. Okay. Then in ultrasonic machining, there also we are using the abrasive particles. Okay. And that is a slurry of abrasive particles, and due to the vibrations, okay, that is a due to the vibrations and the abrasive slurry, we are removing the material. Okay. In detail we are going to study. Okay, don't worry, here just I am taking the overview. Then now, as we know that the performance of these processes depends upon the hardness, strength, and the other physical and mechanical properties of the work material. So, what is really needed is the development of machining methods. So, that is a the as I can say, whose performance is unaffected by physical, metallurgical, and mechanical properties of work material. So, for that purpose, we have to go for the development. So, if we talk about the thermoelectric methods, okay, now in mechanical energy based processes, there are some barriers about the mechanical properties, maybe the hardness or maybe the strength or maybe the physical problem. So these barriers you can overcome using the thermoelectric machining. Okay, thermoelectric machining. So therefore thermoelectric processes as well as electrochemical processes are uh, more useful in metal working industries. Okay. Now I will talk about the thermal machining, thermoelectric processes or methods. Now here energy is, okay, thermal energy based processes. Here energy is supplied in the form of heat. Okay, in the form of heat. And now if you take an example of plasma arc machining, there plasma is used as a your energy. If you again in case of laser beam machining, you are using light, or electron bombardment we are using in case of electron beam machining. Okay, so in thermal energy based processes, thermal energy is supplied in the form of heat. Okay, and the energy is concentrated onto your small area of your workpiece, and resulting, okay, if you pass the heat on the small portion of the workpiece, there vaporization, or due to the melting, or I can say both melting and vaporization, material removal rate will happen. Okay, okay, got it. Material will remove due to the action of heat, okay, in the form of maybe plasma, maybe the light, or maybe the electron bombardment. Okay, okay, so here action is we are using the heat, and due to that bombardment of heat, or the transmission of heat, melting or vaporization will happen. Okay, now again, I will extend that plasma machining has been identified as a rough machining process, but laser beam machining and electron beam machining are the good enough for making very fine cut and holes also. However, if you talk about the EDM, our electric discharge machining, then this process is capable of machining the materials economically and accurately also. So many times EDM machining is occur. So this process are widely used for the machining hard and tough but electrical conductive metal. This EDM is only useful for the electrical discharge machining, because electrical discharge machining is there. Now we'll go for the next, that is a chemical. Now, as I have already mentioned that in the chemical machining, we are using the chemicals, that is acid, it may be as HN. So due to the chemical dissolution action, material is going to remove from your workpiece. Okay. Okay. So here material action, material removal action is the chemical dissolution. Okay. And in terms of electrochemical dissolution will be there. Okay. So electrochemical dissolution phase is required to remove the metal. Okay, machining allows using the ion transfer in the electrolytic solution, because you will know come to know that for electric discharge machining, for completion of the process, we require the dielectric fluid, and in terms of electrochemical machining, we require the electrolytic cell or electrolytic fluid. Okay, here I am giving just general information. Okay, now I'm not going in deep, because in the overview I'm going to, in this chapter only overview I'm going to take. So in that one by one machining I'm going to cover. Okay. Okay, have you got the classification? Have you got the classification?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just I will come to this our slide. Just remember, our non-conventional machining processes are classified accordingly which source of energy is used for the material removal action. Okay, which source is used, or I can say which energy, or in which form of energy is used. Okay, for the material removal purpose. So according that mechanical energy is used. In that, again, in that group, abrasive jet, ultrasonic machining, water jet, abrasive water jet machining comes. Okay, then in the thermal thermal energy based processes and electrical energy based processes, we have the EDM, that is electric discharge machining, plasma arc machining, electron beam machining, laser beam machining comes, and ion beam machining. Okay, so there we are using heat in the form of different. Okay, it may be plasma, it may be ion, or it may be your electron bombardment, or your laser. Okay, there we are using electrical energy in the form of that electrical energy we are going to convert into thermal energy. Okay, and that thermal energy means what? In the form of heat. Okay, and due to that heat, melting and evaporation will happen, and due to that melting and evaporation, material removal will happen. Okay, our purpose is only one, that is remove the material from the workpiece. That is the machining of the work material. Okay, so that machining I am saying the material removal. Okay, and in case of the electrochemical or chemical dissolution, due to the chemical dissolution and electrochemical dissolution, material will remove from the workpiece. Okay, so again, this part I have covered in today's my YouTube preliminary lecture. Okay, so if you understood 50% here, no problem. For revision, you can watch that lecture also. But I think I have explained everything here. Okay, I have given the basic idea. No problem. In next lecture onwards, I am going to cover one by one, or I will say I am going to cover take overview of all this machining. Okay, understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Because in chapter number one, from chapter number one, we have covered the introduction of NCM, need of NCM, then classification of NCM. Okay, so that deep after overview, by taking the overview, we'll go. Otherwise, uh, time being, no problem. Let it be. We'll cover next time. Now, only one part is remaining from the chapter number one. That is a overview. That is a big point. No problem. We require two lecture. Overview means what? I'm going to explain each and every this processes. That means the 14 processes in detail in next lecture. Okay, and after that we'll take the difference between the our what do we call traditional machining and non-traditional machining, because I have that also. Okay. Now okay, Yusuf is asking about the PPT. Definitely I will send PPT. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, you want to PPT in WhatsApp group? No problem. Immediately I will send. No problem. Because okay, shall we continue with a new point, or whether this is a overdose dose for you? Because today continuously you are in NCM lecture also. What to do? Shall we continue?
Stop, sir.
Because I think that for new lecture, fresh mode is required, because new point is there. Here up to now, up to now I've given the overview. No problem. That means subject overview. No problem. In the next lecture, we'll take the overview. That means one by one. Just 1 minute. I will show the next PPT. That means what we are going to cover in the next lecture. That. Okay. So in next lecture, uh, we will see in detail about the one by one all processes. That means first I will start with the water jet machining. Okay. Here within 1 minute I will just give you idea. Okay. What will be the working? I will repeat. What will be the working principle behind the each and every process? That is a overview. So in next two lecture I'm going to do that. I will explain that. Okay, water jet machining, how machining will happen. water jet. Here you can see the only diagram. So in next lecture I will explain. Then ultrasonic machining, electric discharge machining, then laser beam machining is there, plasma arc machining is there, electron beam machining is there, focus diode. So and chemical machining and electrochemical. So these are the 14 processes are there, and that so overview of this 14 processes we will see in next lecture. And again in detail of this all processes we are going to see in next our chapters. Okay, chapter number 2 to 5th. Okay. So shall we stop here? So before that, okay, I will stop my screen sharing. So as we have the time of 5 minute time, so let me give the some feedback about this lecture, whether we are at on track or not. So